Hello, my name is Alencia Lamb, and this is my summary for Module 1 MAO for MKT532 or Consumer Behavior. The topics that were discussed in Module 1 were the COMB model, or Motivation, Ability, and Opportunity or MAO, and Execution of Cues and Advertising using MAO. The COMB is a behavior change framework that proposes three key components for any behavior to occur. Those three components being capability or ability, opportunity, and motivation. According to the article titled COMB Model for Behavior Change, capability is the person's psychological and physical ability to participate in an activity. Opportunities are the external factors that make a behavior possible, and motivation is the conscious and unconscious cognitive process that direct and inspire change. To help better understand this concept, the behavior change wheel is used, as seen in the first image. This wheel is used to move a behavioral analysis of a problem to an evidence-based intervention method. The intervention functions as broad categories used to bring out behavior. And initially, the behavior change wheel was used as a tool used in public health research for everyday use. To understand the COMB model, there are 3 steps involved, and those 3 steps are understanding the behavior, identifying intervention options, and identifying content and implementation options. Moving on to the next topic, MAO, or Motivation, Ability, and Opportunity, is basically along the same lines as COM, where the main differences are capability versus ability, and the definitions for each term. All 3 of these elements work together in order to convince consumers to spend more money. Here, motivation is defined as the state of arousal to achieve a goal, meaning that the more motivated a consumer is, the more money they are likely to spend. Resources affecting motivation are personal relevance, values, and needs, just to name a few. And here, needs are very important, as marketers and businesses cannot create them, but they are based on consumers. Needs have the ability to steer consumption patterns and buying behavior. Ability refers to the resources available to achieve said goal. And some resources that affect ability are financial, cognitive, and emotional. Opportunity is known as the time or set of circumstances needed to achieve a goal. And resources that affect opportunities are time, distractions, and complexity of information. And moving on to the next topic, executional cues are often used in marketing and advertising as elements to enhance engagement and memory of an ad. To advertise executional cues, companies and brands can either match them to consumers' information processing levels or enhance consumers' MAO to process information. For processing information using MAO, high processing levels are able to create better brand attitude, and processing levels affect the strength and enduring nature of memories and brand attitude. For executional cues, motivation is the readiness or desire to process information. Ability means having the prior knowledge to understand the brand information. And opportunity refers to the amount of time that distractions and or exposure affect consumers' attention. Pre-exposure levels of MAO are influenced by consumer characteristics or situational characteristics. And post-exposure levels of MAO are influenced by these factors as well, in addition to executional cues. Some ways to enhance MAO processing are appealing to intrinsic hedonic needs or a novel stimuli for motivation, reducing processing time or controlling the presentation of cues for opportunity, and enhancing access to relevant knowledge or creating new knowledge structures for ability. To measure these processes, you must understand what goes into it. So for measuring motivation to brand process information, you must look at the effects of motivation and outcomes for motivation. For opportunity, you have to investigate advantages and disruptions of cognitive processes. And for ability, you must look at the effects of experience versus knowledge, data regarding consumers' knowledge of the brand, and their objective knowledge in general. Some of the research issues that have come about regarding executional cues are trade-off effects on MAO, refinement in the characterizations of executional cues, and am understanding the relationship between cues. Again, my name is Alentia Lamb, and this is my summary for Module 1.